Morning. Okay, so what we have here is another repair on the Lancia Prisma. We're going to have a look at the roof top corner where it meets the rear screen. So let's see what we've got. Right, this is where we've got the screen. As you can see, the back screen there basically, and this is the top left rear corner where it meets the roof. Quite a nasty bit of rust in there. It's double skinned. Usually the back of that roof there is where she rots out, and the same on the Delta as the Prisma. But I've cut away some stuff before it was sent for dipping. Just going to try and open that up a little bit more, tidy it up. I'm going to have to put a plate on the inside before we put a new piece to form the roof skin over the top. Okay, let's see how we go. So we've welded the panel in underneath, and I made one on top. I'll put a couple of pictures on so you can just see the pattern and stuff, but that's not too bad. It's a bit of a pig because the steel on the skin is so thin and it'll just blow through. But anyway, hopefully when we've had a bit of a grind off on it, and then I can put a return piece just in underneath here to form the upstand. I don't think she should look too bad. I put a swage line in just to try and continue that roof line through afterwards. But obviously once it's all filled and everything, that should come out looking all right, I think. Cool. Right, so here we go. We put the top patch on, welded it all back. Quite pleased with how that's worked out, really. Yeah, it needs some filler on it, but that's for another day. But at least we've got the strength back into it and pretty much the right kind of shape as well. So that's taken probably the best part of 3 hours to do, so all of this work is very labour intensive, but pretty satisfying. I'm pleased with that. Bit of a rusty rear window corner there, so I'm just going to grind all that shit off, see what we've got left, weld another piece in there. Yay! Right, now we've ground that down, you can see we've got a bit of shape there, bottom of the screen and the back of the boot bodywork corner. So what I'm going to do now is make a piece to go in the top of there, weld it together, and then we'll see what we've got next. Right, so the problem with these corners, why they rust out, is because the water traps in beyond the screen, and Lancia did something by putting this little channel in here, just try and drain the water away, but of course you can see there it's starting to rust on that side. Ultimately it just gets blocked and then it rusts like heck, and suddenly you end up with no corner. So what we're going to do on this side is put a little channel in and try and replicate that on the other side. So I've cut the V in there, and we're going to weld a piece in there, grind it back and see what she like. Right, made some pieces here just to get welded in. This is going to form the drainage channel, which should replicate the factory one on the other side. So I'll weld them up, we'll grind them back and we'll see what we've got. Right, so here we go. We've welded it, we've ground it back. It's a little hard to see at the moment, but basically we've managed to incorporate the drainage groove in that corner. So what I'm hoping is that not only will it look right, but it will alleviate the same thing happening again, at least for another 40 years. Okay, so a quick walk around what we've actually done. Started off on this front corner where basically I had to build the whole end of the chassis leg and suspension. Struts needed redoing, that all rusted out in there. Same on the other side. It's a little bit of fabrication work under that corner of the front engine mount. Screen was quite good, really. A lot of that front bulkhead was very good. There's a patch on the bottom screen that I did previously, and it was the same on the driver's side. A little bit of patching work. The sill had gone, we had to redo the sill on there, and then inside a bit of stitch welding there on the seam, but the seams were quite good on the back. That was the rear strut side, which had just rusted out on the inside, and again stitch welding on the other side over there, the back arch. The arches themselves, they've been cut away at the moment because we're going to be putting the wide body kit on it. Bit of work in underneath the arch there, the back of the sill, and I don't know if you can see it, but that's the sill which had the repair panel on further up there. Back struts, towers were pretty good. A little bit of work to do on the bottom there. This had all kind of disintegrated, so we ended up putting a new panel in underneath. And then of course we've got our rear screen in the bottom corner, and the boot floor, which it wasn't too bad, but I figured that by the time we'd messed around trying to patch it up, it would look a lot neater if it just had some new panels put in there. So I just fabricated them up, put some swage lines in it, just give it a bit of strength and stop the drumming. The rear slam panel on the back of the boot, it had a rear end shunt, I'm pretty sure, at some stage, which had just kind of made it crease, and then I think that had helped it rust really in those areas. And then I had to put some little patches in just on the upstand for the boot seal return at that point. Coming around on this side, she's not bad, you know, it's in pretty good nick really. That's the roof that we've just done. And underneath here, that strut tower was pretty good. That didn't need a lot of work on it at all, so I was quite pleased with that. Coming around onto the front, another screen repair on that corner, and then this again needed a fair bit of work on it. The front strut tower on this side was completely shot. I had to rebuild not only the chassis but also the strengthening plate as well. And then into the corner there, bit of patching work. But I think I've been very lucky with this shell, because it could have been a lot worse. A lot of the deltas are completely shot, but it did spend 15 years in a genuine barn, so that was pretty good. Good, okay, well I'll keep updating you and we'll see how we get on. See you soon.